Have you ever woken up in the morning, looked in the mirror, and thought, where did that spark go? Maybe you've noticed your energy isn't quite what it used to be, or those little aches and pains seem to stick around longer than they used to. Trust me, I've been there too. But here's the thing I've learned. Age is just a number, and youthful living isn't about turning back the clock. It's about unlocking the secrets to feeling vibrant, engaged, and truly alive right now. No matter what year you were born. That's why today, we're talking about how to embrace life after 60 with more energy, joy, and purpose. And I'll let you in on a little secret. It doesn't require fancy gadgets, extreme diets, or running marathons. It's about simple, everyday choices that add up to something extraordinary. Over the next little while, we'll explore habits that can help you feel years younger, starting with two of my favorites. Let's begin with something we all know is important but often underestimate: movement. Now, I'm not talking about training for the Olympics or sweating it out at a gym if that's not your style. It's about finding ways to keep your body active in a way that feels good to you. Maybe it's a morning stretch while the coffee brews, a leisurely walk around the neighborhood, or even dancing to your favorite oldies in the living room. Here's why this matters. Our bodies are designed to move. When we stay active, we're not just keeping our muscles and joints happy. We're boosting our mood, sharpening our minds, and even improving our balance to prevent falls. And the best part, you don't need to spend hours doing it. Start small. 5 minutes here and there can make a world of difference. Let me share a story. My friend Martha, who's 72, told me she used to dread exercise until she discovered gardening. Now, she spends an hour a day planting flowers, pulling weeds, and bending down to tender vegetables, and she doesn't even realize she's working out. Her secret? She found something she loves. So ask yourself, what activity brings you joy and gets you moving? It could be anything: Tai Chi, swimming, even marching in place during TV commercials. The key is to make it fun, not a chore. Now, let's talk about another cornerstone of youthful living, one that's often overlooked, but just as vital as physical activity. I'm talking about staying connected. Human beings thrive on connection, whether it's with family, friends, or even new acquaintances. But as we get older, it's easy to let those bonds slip. Maybe you've lost touch with old friends, or you're living far from family, or you just feel like you don't have much in common with folks anymore. But here's the truth. Social engagement isn't just about having someone to talk to. Studies show that strong relationships can lower stress, boost immunity, and even add years to your life. And it's never too late to build new connections. Take my neighbor, Frank. After his wife passed, he felt isolated until he joined a weekly chess group at the community center. Now he's got a circle of friends who challenge his mind, share laughs, and even plan weekend outings together. You don't need a big crowd either. Even one meaningful conversation a day can lift your spirits. Call a grandchild, chat with the mail carrier, or join a book club, online or in person. And if you're thinking, but I'm not a social butterfly, that's okay. Start small. Smile at a stranger at the park. Strike up a conversation with someone in line at the grocery store. Little moments of connection add up. The beauty of these habits, they feed into each other. When you move your body, you'll likely feel more energized to reach out to others. And when you're socially engaged, you'll find yourself motivated to stay active. It's like a ripple effect. One positive choice leads to another. But here's what I really want you to remember. This isn't about perfection. Some days, you might only manage a 2-minute stretch or a quick phone call. That's okay. What matters is showing up for yourself, bit by bit. So let's take these ideas and make them real. Tomorrow morning, try one small thing. Maybe a shoulder roll while you wait for the toast to pop up, or a text to a friend you've been missing. Then, when you're ready, we'll explore even more ways to nurture your body, mind, and spirit. Because the secret to youthful living isn't hidden in some far-off fountain of youth. It's right here, in the choices we make every day. And you've already taken the first step, just by being here. So let's keep this conversation going. You know, one of the most wonderful things about getting older is the wisdom we've collected over the years. All those stories, lessons, and aha moments that shape who we are. But here's something I've learned. Just like our bodies, our minds need a little tender, loving care to stay sharp and curious. So let's talk about mental engagement, the kind that doesn't feel like homework, but instead lights up your sense of wonder. Think back to when you were younger. Maybe you loved solving crossword puzzles, playing an instrument, or tinkering with a new recipe. Those activities weren't just hobbies. They were keeping your brain nimble. And guess what? That hasn't changed. The brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it stays. But here's the catch. It's got to be something that excites you. If Sudoku feels like a chore, don't force it. Find what makes you lean in with curiosity. Take my cousin Ed. At 68, he decided to learn Spanish. Not because he had to, but because he wanted to surprise his granddaughter during her school trip to Mexico. He started with just 10 minutes a day on a language app, and now he's swapping jokes with her in Spanish over video calls. It's not about fluency. It's about the joy of trying something new. Whether it's painting, bird watching, or even mastering your smartphone camera to take grandkid-worthy photos, the goal is to keep that spark of learning alive. And don't underestimate the power of simple, everyday mental exercises. Reading a book, debating the news with a friend, or even playing cards can keep your mind active. My neighbor Joan hosts a monthly trivia night with her bridge club. They laugh, they argue over answers, and they all leave feeling a little brighter. The key is to make it fun. After all, laughter itself is a tonic for the soul. Now, let's shift gears to something that fuels both body and mind nutrition. I know, you've heard it all before. Eat your greens. Drink more water. But stick with me, because this isn't about strict diets or cutting out your favorite treats. It's about thinking of food as your ally and feeling vibrant. As we age, our nutritional needs change. Maybe you're not as hungry as you used to be, or certain foods don't sit well anymore. That's normal, but it's also an opportunity to get creative. For example, instead of 3 big meals, try smaller, nutrient-packed snacks throughout the day. A handful of almonds, a slice of avocado toast, or a smoothie with Greek yogurt and berries can give you sustained energy without weighing you down. And let's talk about hydration. Did you know that as we get older, our sense of thirst often diminishes? That's why it's easy to forget to drink water until we feel sluggish or get a headache. Keep a colorful water bottle nearby, or jazz up your water with a slice of lemon, cucumber, or even a sprig of mint. Herbal teas count too. My friend Clara starts her day with a warm cup of ginger tea and says it's like a hug for her insides. But here's the real secret. Food is meant to be enjoyed. If you love butter on your toast or a piece of dark chocolate after dinner, savor it guilt-free. The goal isn't perfection, it's balance. Think of your plate as a rainbow. The more colors you add, the more vitamins and antioxidants you are giving your body to fight inflammation and keep your energy steady. Let me share a quick story. A viewer named Harold wrote to me last month. He said he'd been feeling tired all the time, blaming it on getting old. But after his daughter encouraged him to tweak his diet, adding more protein at breakfast and swapping soda for sparkling water, he noticed his afternoon slumps vanished. He's not running marathons, but he's got the stamina to play with his grandkids in the backyard again. Small changes, big impact. Now, I can already hear some of you thinking, but cooking for one feels like a hassle. Or, I've eaten the same way for 50 years. Why change now? And I get it. Habits are cozy. But what if you approached meals as a chance to experiment? Try a new spice, share potluck with friends, or revisit a recipe from your childhood. Food is memory, nourishment, and pleasure all rolled into one. And here's the thread that ties all these habits together. They're about listening to yourself, not what the latest fad says, not what everyone else is doing, just tuning in to what makes you feel good. Your body, your mind, your rhythm. Some days, that might mean a quiet afternoon with a novel. Other days, it's a brisk walk followed by a hearty soup. It's all part of the dance. So let's keep building on this, shall we? In the next part of our conversation, we'll explore how to nurture your spirit, the part of you that dreams, reflects, and finds meaning in every day. Because true vitality isn't just about what we do. It's about how we feel deep down. There's a saying I love. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. And isn't that the truth? When we talk about youthful living, it's not just about our bodies or our minds. It's about that inner spark, the part of us that still wonders, dreams, and finds joy in the simplest moments. So let's dive into the final piece of the puzzle, nurturing your spirit. You see, as we age, it's easy to get caught up in the shoulds and used to's. I should act my age. I used to travel more. But what if, instead, we asked ourselves, what brings me alive right now? Maybe it's rediscovering an old passion, like painting or playing the piano. Maybe it's sitting under a tree with a good book, or watching the birds flutter at the feeder. Or perhaps it's something bigger, like volunteering at a local school or writing memoirs for your grandchildren. Take my friend Irene. At 75, she decided to start a small community garden in her neighborhood. She told me, I thought my best days were behind me, until I saw those first sprouts push through the soil. Now, I feel like I'm leaving something beautiful for the next generation. That sense of purpose, of contributing, is like a fountain of youth for the soul. It doesn't have to be grand, just meaningful to you. And let's not forget the power of gratitude. Now, I know life isn't always sunshine and rainbows. We've all faced losses, setbacks, or days when getting out of bed feels like a victory. But here's what I've found. Taking a moment each day to acknowledge the good. A warm cup of tea, a phone call from a loved one, even the way the light hits your favorite chair can shift your entire outlook. It's like training your heart to notice the gold dust in everyday life. Try this. Tonight before bed, jot down one thing that made you smile today. It could be as simple as a neighbor's dog wagging its tail at you or finally nailing that new recipe. Over time, those little notes add up to a treasure chest of joy. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention rest. We've talked a lot about staying active and engaged, but true vitality also means honoring your need to recharge. Quality sleep, quiet moments of reflection, or even a midday catnap, these aren't luxuries. They're essentials. Think of rest as your body's way of repairing itself, like a gardener tending to a beloved plot of land. But here's the heart of it all. Youthful living isn't a checklist. It's a mindset. It's about embracing the full spectrum of life, the energy and the calm, the connections and the solitude, the adventures and the quiet rituals. It's laughing at the wrinkles around your eyes because they're proof of a life well lived. It's choosing curiosity over fear, kindness over judgment, and joy over someday. So let's tie this all together. We've explored movement, connection, mental engagement, nourishing food, purpose, gratitude, and rest. But the magic happens when these habits weave together into a life that feels authentically yours. Maybe you'll dance in the kitchen while dinner cooks, then call a friend to share a laugh. Or maybe you'll spend a morning learning to knit, followed by an afternoon nap without an ounce of guilt. However it looks, it's yours. No rules, no deadlines, just the freedom to thrive on your own terms. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. You are not too old to start. Not too old to try something new, to make a friend, to reinvent a habit, or to find wonder in the world. Time isn't running out. It's opening up, inviting you to savor it. If any of this resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's one small thing you'll try this week to nurture your youthful spirit? Your stories inspire all of us, and I read every single one. And if you found this conversation helpful, consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. It's the best way to stay connected as we explore more ways to live vibrantly at any age. Here's to you, to the adventures ahead, the wisdom you carry, and the countless moments of joy waiting to be discovered. Remember, the secret to youthful living isn't in chasing yesterday, it's in embracing today. So go on, darling. Your best chapter is still being written. Like, subscribe, and share your journey below.